Hello, my name is Mayra and today I'm presenting my research titled Ancient Maya Sustainability, a Review of Past Data. The purpose of my research was to examine the sustainability of ancient Maya civilization. Now, what I wanted to see first is I wanted to see how the ancient Maya built green cities in the past, in antiquity. For this, I had to do an extensive literature review that allowed me to examine three contributing factors of the ancient Maya civilization. Their first one is their agricultural systems, their second one, social organization, and the third one, their diet. A little bit about sustainability is I do have a definition, which is a different definition from what we have known today. And this one is people sustain what they value. This one's by Joseph Tainter, an anthropologist. And with this definition, pretty much Joseph Tainter is telling us that as long as people value something in the environment, like such as food, resources, things that we need, we are going to value them. And I really like this simple definition. So, combining his definition with the three pillars of sustainability, I'm asking myself, and this is a part of his question as well. Well, what do we want to sustain? Sustain what, for whom, for how long, and at what cost? To be able to answer these questions, we have to combine this definition with the three pillars of sustainability as we know them today. The first one is the environmental, the second pillar is economic, and the third one is social. In your environmental pillar, you want to know what maintains renewable resource harvest and how do you protect non-renewable resources from depletion. At the same time, you want to be improving ecosystem integrity and biological diversity. In the economic pillar, you want to support a defined level of economic production. You want to make sure that this achieves the goals of a sustained economy through employment and community continuity. And the third one, the social pillar, is what is the function of social systems and how the population can be well, how it defines the well-being indefinitely of a population at the same time it's sustaining it. Also, by cultural diversity and recreational experiences enhancement, we can also do and fulfill this pillar of sustainability. Now, the methods that I used is a literature review, and I reviewed various articles, scholarly articles, in the topics of archaeology, urbanism, sustainability, climate change, human environmental relationships, subsistence, and resilience, and urban and demography. These methods were used because first, we have to use archaeology to be able to give us the evidence from their archaeological record. And the second one is I wanted to combine the field of urbanism in the modern field today of urban planning to be able to tell us how the ancient urban Maya were building their cities and how that compares to today's cities. Now, on my literature review, I did find that through the agricultural systems of the ancient Maya, we are able to determine not only their ways of food production, but also the way that they build their cities, how they visualize, and how they connected to their broad ecological diversity in terms of cultivating their food. Their social organization is what tells us how they manage the intense labors of their fields, of their systems, along with the economic and political structures. And this is from the commoners to the elite. And the third one, the type of diet, is we want to see the reconstruction of ancient Maya diet through isotopic and trace element analysis of bone remains to be able to answer the basic questions of what was consumed by whom, when, where, and how much. So these three contributing factors, I believe, are really have to be really interconnected to be able to apply and know more about the ancient Maya civilization sustainability methods. Now, some of the findings were that through their subsistence methods, they use two forms of agriculture. The first one is an intensive form, which is a practice that's embedded in a certain area of land. It's cultivated and it's focused on the plant itself. Their extensive agriculture is a form of cultivation where crops are broadly distributed over the landscape and are managed through that in that area, but then they have to be moved. So examples of intensive agriculture would be terracing wetlands using root crops kitchen gardens, and arboriculture. These systems are systems that stay in place and that are nurtured from there. The extensive agriculture method that we know of the Maya is the milpa, the Swidden, which is like a slash and burn method. And this method is known to have worked, but in very small population densities. This was the one of the main, or as you could say, the pioneer system of agriculture for the ancient Maya and other civilizations in Mesoamerica. But at the same time, as populations were growing, they had to adapt to other systems, and that's where the intensive agriculture came into place. The intensive agriculture is said to be a self-sustainable system. So now, with that said, I also analyze what foods they were eating. So from the isotopic trace element analysis, we know that the ancient Maya were eating a variety of foods. I know some of the Mesoamerican civilizations are known to have the main three sister crops, which are squash, maize, corn, and beans. But with the literature review, I found that the ancient Maya also grew an intense amount of other foods and cultivations, either for medicinal purposes or for food as subsistence. Now, with my discussion and conclusion is that for us to be able to analyze these three contributing factors to tell us about how the ancient Maya were a sustainable civilization or not, we have to look at these three things, and we also have to combine it with what we know as sustainability today, what we know about green cities today. And through the examination and information of these contributing factors, we are more informed in a multifaceted definition of sustainability. And I did came to the conclusion that the ancient Maya were following the three pillars of sustainability because they were interconnecting everything. They were making sure that they were keeping their landscapes as much cultivated and nourished as possible, because it cost them, as an economic pillar, to be moving around, to be building cities that, following the food. So in other words, they actually had to have the food kind of like come to them, and like the food be with them at the same time. And for future directions, I'm going to read this quote, which is the base of my research. Is while the future of archaeology is in the past also holds information vital for the world's future. This is by Chase and Scarborough in 2014. And this quote and this space of concept of how to combine archaeology for solutions that we can find today is the focus of my research with this. So now, by the applicability of ancient Maya agricultural systems and knowing more about them, it can help urban cities today. We can know what failed and what was successful to the civilization. Also, archaeology and urbanism, these two fields could have the potential in the future to combine forces and to learn about how this ancient civilization grew their food within their cities, for us to be able to build that as well in our cities in contemporary context and with our modern technology. And to my conclusion is that the potential of cities today could have the right technology to imitate green cities like the ancient Maya truly were, and to be able to build these cities just like them. Thank you.